Hi guys, it has been unbelievably long since I actually did any kind of Doctor Who recap or any kind of Doctor Who video. Life has been incredibly busy, but as you all know, we are now currently in the thick of a brand new season of Doctor Who. I was going to get back on board and recap The Magician's Apprentice and The Witch's Familiar, the first 2 episodes of this season, and then rocket onto this 3rd episode and try and do it in one video just to play catch up, but I thought I would just cover the 2-parter. Okay, a few sticking points. One, Sonic sunglasses? Like, I despise the fact that a middle-aged man with the fashion sense of a bag of oats is trying to dictate to us what isn't cool. He tried to beat us over the head with this, with the bow ties are cool, with the cowboy hats, and you'll actually notice that Peter Capaldi's Doctor is the least tethered to his costume. Because I mean, every superhero has to have their outfit, right? They have to have their look. They have a color scheme, and part of the joy of Doctor Who is the fact that every regeneration gives us a brand new look for the Doctor. As you'll notice, Capaldi was given a brand new look, the wizard's coat, a kind of cool, Pertwee-ish look, and I think he's worn that about 3 times. It's like this weird kind of daggy fashion ADD. He's now taken to wearing just like a hoodie and a ripped t-shirt. Don't get me wrong, Capaldi's doing an amazing job, but part of the reason Doctor Who is so great is that you think of a Doctor and you see exactly what they're wearing in your head. You get this distinct tang on your mind palette. You know, it's got a weird kind of visual mouthfeel to it. So when you think of Tom Baker, you think of the scarf and the hat. When you think of, Tennant, you think of the Ben Sherman suit and the chucks. When you think of Capaldi, you think, hang on, what was he wearing last episode? Because the problem is they haven't stuck to the same outfit. So now, of course, what Moffat has done is taken that one visual thing that binds the Doctor, at least in the past few seasons, which is the sonic screwdriver. And don't get me wrong, technically speaking, Capaldi is not the first Doctor to actually ditch the screwdriver. If you recall, Peter Davison as the 5th Doctor went for a prolonged period without touching the screwdriver. And frankly, it made him a bit of a milksop because he couldn't batter his way out of situations. He had to be passive. He couldn't be aggressive. Which means, I think, Peter Davison's Doctor spent the most time sitting and waiting in prison cells. It was really riveting viewing. Long story short, Sonic sunglasses, daggy as hell, and completely awful. But maybe he'll ditch them soon and get the screwdriver back. I don't know. Personally, I enjoy the time when we get a new TARDIS interior, and we get a new theme song, and we get a new costume, and we get a new screwdriver. These are kind of traditions, and by sloughing them off, Moffat is effectively going, I'm making the new traditions, and frankly, Moffat's not great with traditions. However, he did sort of deliver with this 2-parter, The Magician's Apprentice and The Witch's Familiar. Pretty good. The first one was sort of dog's balls. It did that Moffat thing of opening doors and not closing them. Kind of conceptual, theoretical story doors. The part 2, though, was actually really good. I really enjoyed it. Clara being trapped in the TARDIS. Clara being trapped in the Dalek was amazing. That final shot of the young Davros walking away with the sonic screwdriver in his hand and Doctor holding his hand and holding a Dalek eye stalk thing. Great. Lots of cool symbolism, lots of, tying together, lots of really great dialogue between Davros and the Doctor kind of getting one up on the Daleks. Missy wasn't completely irritating. Clara was great. It was a really solid episode. Apart from the sunglasses. I'm just so angry. And frankly, I've used up my quota for time for actually, going into an in-depth analysis. Oh, one thing that did annoy me. In the first episode, we saw a typical Moffat-ism. You can tell he did a show called Coupling back in the 90s, early 2000s, a romantic comedy that was sort of, gender politics-wise, very, very backwards and kind of dumb and lazy. At the start of the first episode, at the start of The Magician's Apprentice, Clara makes a throwaway reference to having made out with Jane Austen, to her being a good kisser. This is not a, hey, how cool is it that people of any gender can kiss people of any gender thing. This is Stephen Moffat going, ooh, girls making out, in that kind of icky early 2000s way, Anyway, small flaws, all in all, really, really rock solid. I'm going to sit down right now and watch the 3rd episode. I promise I will be more on it. I hope you've enjoyed this weirdly energized video. Frankly, it's about 30-something degrees here in Australia where I am, and I am sweating me tits off, so I'm gonna go and have a cool shower, and then I'm gonna rock straight into episode 3. If you like, you can hit subscribe. By the way, I now do a video game podcast called 28 Plays Later with Chris Straub. If you're coming to PAX in Australia, we are doing 3:30 p.m. on the Saturday in the Wombat Theatre. It seats 1,500 people. We have all kinds of special guests. For more info, go to 28playslater.com and make sure you subscribe to 28 Plays Later on iTunes. If and when they release a good Doctor Who video game, I will dedicate several episodes to it. But until then, you're going to have to suffice with these videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you shortly.